little bit of cricket here. The Blackcaps, they got smoked by England overnight, all good. And Australia A basically smoked the New Zealand A team, and they've won the first two one-dayers of their three-match series. So Australia's won the one-day series. Couple of key performances. Trent Boult returning to the Blackcaps. He's got 8 wickets in 2 games, averaging 11, 5.4 runs and over. He is the most economical Blackcaps bowler in the series so far, except for Mitchell Santner. Mitchell Santner's only played 1 game. So Santner's only played 1 game. Rachin Ravindra has bowled in all 3 games. So they're obviously trying to get some overs into Ravindra. That's all good. And a very interesting little nugget here. Will O'Rourke. He took 4 wickets for New Zealand A yesterday, and that was his first appearance in the one-dayers of this series. So he is now... he took 4 wickets in 1 game, and I think I said it in the subscriber podcast. Will O'Rourke's played 1 game in each series. So he played 1 game in the home unofficial test series earlier this year. He played 1 game in the unofficial test series just gone in Australia, and he's now played 1 game in the one-dayer series. And he's among the best bowlers for each of those series. And the thing about Will O'Rourke, he's taken at least 2 wickets in every innings bowled against Australia A. 2 wickets, 2 wickets, 2 wickets, 3 wickets, 4 wickets. That is lovely. That is gathering up the wickets. And one last nugget here. We've talked about it. We talked about it in the subscriber podcast as well. Will O'Rourke, Henry Shipley, Kyle Jamieson. That Canterbury seam attack is full with massive units. But they've also got Michael Ray, he looked pretty impressive in the one-days against Australia. So you got Michael Ray. He's been injected into that Canterbury seam attack, as well as the youngsters, Fraser Sheet, Zach Folkes. Sean Davey was excellent last summer as well. Maybe you get a bit of Matt Henry. Who do you select? Angus McKenzie. Like, there is a very realistic possibility that Canterbury start their season in Plunket Shield with, like, Henry Shipley, Will O'Rourke, depending on the Blackcap schedule, Matt Henry and Kyle Jamieson. What's going on there? That is amazing. But the headline there is that Will O'Rourke is really, really good at bowling, and he's cut from the same cloth as a Henry Shipley, as a Kyle Jamieson.
Yeah, I'm guessing Plunket Shield will start around the same time as the World Cup, so Kyle Jamieson didn't get picked for the World Cup. So Kyle Jamieson's probably playing those games, and that's their second 11 is going to be better than some teams' first 11s. The depth of seam bowling that they've got. I mean, like Daryl Mitchell or someone might pop up for a game or two now and then. And I know he doesn't bowl a lot at international level, but he's pretty handy at the domestic front with the ball.
Well, you chuck Ish Sodhi, the spinner.
Yeah, of course. I forgot he moved there too.
He's your leading spinner, and you've got Jamieson, O'Rourke, Shipley, Henry, whatever else. That is crazy.
Yeah, that's not even fair. I was going to watch the start of that Blackcaps, the third ODI, because it started at 11:30, which I think means it must have been a day game in England, but I didn't because I forgot it was on and went to sleep. And sort of glad I didn't, because it looks like Ben Stokes just like they lost by 181 runs and Ben Stokes scored 182. So I guess you can say he was the difference. But sometimes someone like Ben Stokes just does crazy things, and you're probably not going to chase 368. So it doesn't really matter what happens after that, other than the fact that, as you say, Trent Boult did take 5 wickets at less than a run a ball economy for a team that went at like nearly 7.5, or I think probably was 7. It was 7.64 run rate, and Bolt's was more than 2 runs better than that, and he took 5 wickets. So you can safely say he's miles ahead in terms of the best performer there. But that's also like Kyle Jamieson, Ben Lister are playing. They didn't seem to pick a 5th bowler, so Phillips and Ravindra and Mitchell all got overs. Like, that's not Blackcaps at their World Cup peak. That's Blackcaps working out a few of their depth World Cup options and then just letting some of these other guys get reps for, whatever. Ben Lister to get 3 wickets, but he went for nearly sevens. But Trent Bolt is now up to 195 ODI wickets.
Sorry, they're taking the piss. That's what it is. They're taking the piss.
Yeah, well, if you want to put it more bluntly, that's certainly a phrase you could use. But yeah, I was looking at that because for a while there, it looked like Trent Bolt was just going to end with 180. I think it was 187. You see, he's got 8 wickets on this tour. 187 ODI wickets as one of our best ever ODI bowlers. That didn't quite seem fair. Now he's going to get this little surge, and it seems like he's probably going to hit 200 before he even gets to the World Cup. So that's going to take him up. It should put him in top 5. I can't remember what the list looks like. I know Vittori's number 1, and then I think it's like Kyle Mills, Tim Southey, and we have the top 3. So Bolt's going to push himself up there nicely, which is good for the old legacy. Glenn Phillips was the only player who scored more than 30, and he scored 72 at a strike rate of 94s for a team that was crumbling around him. So it's good continuation of his sharp form. But I did watch quite a bit of the New Zealand A stuff yesterday because they've been on Sky, and I just had it on in the background while I was finishing off Flying Kiwis. So I actually watched a lot of. I turned it off when they started batting. I mean, when the Kiwis started batting and just losing wickets everywhere. But did watch a lot of Will O'Rourke there, and I tell you what, he's got some zip. He's got some zip, that's for sure.
It looked a bit faster than what I've seen in like the New Zealand conditions and the New Zealand scorecards.
Nice hard Aussie wickets for you.
Like, and he moves the ball as well. Like all those dudes, Jamieson burst onto the scene with these hooping in-swingers. I've talked about Henry Shipley's kind of quirky action and how that helps him get a little bit of swing, a little bit of nibble off the pitch. Will O'Rourke is tall. I don't think he bowls fast. I think he bowls fast enough, so it might be 135 to 140 Ks on a good day, but he moves the ball. All those dudes have a bit of funk in their bowling with how they can extract movement from conditions, and it was a pleasure to watch him. Like I'm not reading too much into the team's performances here, especially when Australia, their batting lineup was a bit crazy. Like Renshaw,
that was stacked.
Ashton Turner's great as well. And the Blackcaps, the New Zealand A team, haven't scored too many runs. Nick Kelly is the only Kiwi batter who has scored over 50 runs in the 2 games so far. But also Michael
Tom Bruce has back-to-back Golden Ducks.
Yeah, like what's doing there? The best batter. It's interesting getting a bit of a gauge on the Aussie commentators, like apart from their cricket tales. Like you can learn a few things about the cricket folklore in Australia listening to those commentators, so shout out to them. They go a bit hard on it, but they love it. They love Will O'Rourke, they love Tom Bruce, so that's good. Nick Kelly's the best fielder in the world according to them, so shout out to him. But 2 things. Michael Ray, he's the leading wicket taker for New Zealand A, 5 wickets. I'm not sure if he actually got a contract with Canterbury. I might have to double check that. You might be able to double check it on the fly.
I'll have a peek, yeah.
But he did move from Otago to Canterbury. And if you do have a Canterbury seam attack of Jamieson, Shipley, Will O'Rourke, Matt Henry, Michael Ray's not playing. So he moved to Canterbury and he might not even crack their first tier seam attack because of their depth. However, he is performing well in Australia A as a sneaky little example of his talent and his craft. And while you're still looking that up, so the players who have played 3 games for the Blackcaps against England, Daryl Mitchell, Devon Conway, Will Young, and the players who have bowled in 3 games, Glenn Phillips and Ravindra, sorry. So the 2 part-time spinners there. Seems like they're taking the piss a wee bit. But my point here is that Aditya Ashok, apparently he got injured in the first game against Australia A. So the New Zealand A team, they haven't had Ashok as their spinner. He hasn't bowled in the series yet in the one-dayers. So Dean Foxcroft is the leading spinner for New Zealand A. He's bowled 12 overs. He's got a wicket at an average of 90, conceding 7.5 runs and over. He's not dominating. He's bowling all right. But it's a good opportunity for Dean Foxcroft to really flex out his bowling because he is the leading spinner in this team unless Ashok returns to action, which basically means the main spinners for Kiwi cricket right now are Rachin Ravindra, Glenn Phillips, and Dean Foxcroft. Hallelujah.
Shout out to the part-timers. Michael Ray did get a contract with Canterbury Cricket, probably helped by the fact that Jamieson and Henry have central contracts with the Blackcaps, as does Sodhi, so there's a bit of room there.
Wait, do you have that list?
Yeah, Chad Bowes, Matt Boyle, Leo Carter, Sean Davies, Zach Folks, Mitch Hay, Cole McConkey, Angus McKenzie, Ed Nuttall, Ken McClure, Will O'Rourke, Michael Ray, Michael Rippon, they're the two new ones, Fraser Sheet and Henry Shipley.
Yeah, so I think most of their seamers do have contracts, and it's like at least 7 or 8 seamers in that list. And shout out Michael Rippon.